All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Winning Wednesday right here in the Northwest Race Report. My name is Terry Bridges, and I am your horsepower and performance broadcaster. Hey, boy, another show. Wowee. I think it's like episode number 25. Holy cow, this is it goes quick, let me tell you. It goes super quick. So those of you tuning in tonight, thanks so much for all your support. And things are going well. Things are going well. As always, we got a great show for you tonight. Lots of great stuff happening over the weekend. So we'll have all the results from all the race action from this weekend. We'll also let you know what's coming up for this weekend. And tonight, our in the seat guest is a kind of a special dude. I'm gonna tell you, he's a cool cat, and he just so happens to be my cousin. Yeah, that's right. Yes, indeed. He's competing in the 2015 Supercross Motocross Series. His name is Flying Ryan Brees, and we'll be talking to him about life as a supercrosser and his road to stardom. So, should be some good stuff there from Ryan Brees. Looking forward to talking to him. Also, we'll talk the importance of having a solid club or racing organization and the effects that it has on your racing. So, you know what? Strap in and get ready for an awesome hour of race information right here on the Northwest Race Report, and it starts right now. Hey, you know, before we get started, this is some huge news that needs all the racers' help. So if you're a racer, this is pretty important. We got one of the family in need, and let me tell you, when I say in need, I mean it's a huge need. Anybody that does a lot of oval racing, especially the sprint car stuff, you guys know the name Colin Baker. He's a former ASCS champion. He's a former Cottage Grove champion, and he's a champion of a guy. Anybody that knows him, I'm sure, will attest to that. Well, I find out he's been diagnosed with Wilson's disease, and it's not real common. It's just what do I say? It's one. I think it's like 1 in 30 can. 1 in 30,000 get this. I mean, it's not that common. I guess what I want to say. So he's been diagnosed with that. Nobody really knew what it was. He was, not feeling well. They took him into the hospital, and they find out that he's got this Wilson's disease. And what it is, in a nutshell, now I'm no expert on it. You guys could probably go look it up if you wanted to. I did a little bit last night, but he's got copper, which we all, I guess, have, but our bodies can get rid of it. Well, in his case, it cannot. And so what that means is, he can't get rid of it. And so what's happening is short-circuiting some stuff in his brain. So he's having some, what I want to say, not mental problems, but it's creating some anxiety and things of that nature. And it is fatal if you don't get rid of it. So they had to put him in a medically induced coma about 10 days ago. How do I know this? Because I talked to his dad, Ted, today, who is a super, super guy. And, he sounded real positive and upbeat, but like I do, that it's he's got to be just crazy worried. So he's doing a good job on the outside, but inside, he's got to be worried. I mean, this is a big deal, especially when people don't know a whole bunch about it. But they have stabilized him, and he is back home, but it's not done. He has to be taken to a hospital up here in Seattle. They find out that one of the best in the business is up here and practices up here. And so they're going to take him up here to Seattle, and they're already set up. They're just waiting for him to get the call to get him up there. Thank goodness he's resting comfortably at home, and has got his mom, who is a fantastic nurse. And so they allowed him to go home because they knew she knew what was going on. So, but he's got to go up and receive this treatment for about 2 weeks. And we all know what that costs. I mean, it's astronomical. And get this. This is, I mean, sit down, because this is super, super crazy. I mean, I'm just telling you, just the drugs. We're not even going to count the hospital stay or anything like that. Just the drugs alone are going to cost the family 20 to 30 grand. Yes, grand a month. And like I said, that's just for the drugs. That doesn't include any of the hospital stay, the doctor's fees, none of that stuff. So, that's a blow. Not only is he sick and not, well, but then you get hit with 20 to 30 grand a month. And here's the deal. He's going to be up there for 2 weeks, and then he's got to go home, and he's got to take these drugs for 4 to 6 months. That's 80, 100 grand just in drugs to help him, get well. So I guess, what am I saying? I'm just asking if you can reach deep into your pockets and help this family out. I'm sure they would be super appreciative of it. They're selling T-shirts and stickers and stuff to kind of help offset the cost of everything. But they've also got some restaurants in town, like Big Stuff's Barbecue. That's Colin's favorite. And My Boy's Pizza. They're down in Oregon, and they're going to be donating all of the money made. So when you go to eat on June 1st and June 2nd, all the money made from those who eat at their restaurants are going to go to fund Colin Baker's medical bills. All the money, not just a portion of it, but all of it. So that's pretty awesome. And you can donate at GoFundMe.com/Colin Baker. And I guess Mr. Baker, he was pretty excited. He said, it's only been less than a week, and it's already up to like 9 grand. So that right there is pretty. That's pretty awesome. People reaching deep and giving some coin, but you can donate to GoFundMe.com/Colin Baker, and any Northwest Community Credit Union or sharing affiliate. So I know some of them share. There is a Colin Baker Medical Fund, and the direct deposits will be accepted there. So you can go to any shared branch. There's no cost to that. You just let them know how much you want to put in there. They'll put a direct deposit in there. And so if you can, any amount, I'm sure would be appreciated. And I talked to Mr. Baker today for about 20 minutes, and he was pretty cool. He was really awesome guy, but I just know that's the outside, and we're talking about his son here, and he's, everything's a lot of unknowns and these astronomical costs. And so, he's got to be worried. But if you'd like to, you can hit Mr. Baker up on his Facebook page. His name is Ted Baker, and he's just an awesome guy. So Big Stuff down, I'm not sure. I think they're in the Grove area. I want to say, I know there's one that My Boy's Pizza's in Cresswell, but Big Stuff Barbecue from noon to 4 on Monday, June 1st, and My Boy's Pizza from 4 to 9 on Tuesday, June 2nd. Go out to eat and bring everybody because all of the money made is going to go to Colin Baker's Medical Fund to help this family out in their sincere time of need. So, Colin Baker, Mr. Baker family, we're pulling for you. We're praying for you, and we're hoping for a recovery just like your son, rolls, and that's super fast. And we just wish you all the best, and we'll do what we can here. I'm just going to keep hitting this until, as long as he needs it, and hopefully everybody can reach in, even if it's a little bit, try to help Colin Baker out. So, all right. Hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Ray Smith, right on. Good to see you, my man. The Rocket, Ronnie Cox in the house. Jennifer Larson Smark, yes, and the whole team, right on. I see Chase is in here. Who was P1 tonight? You know what? Cody Chisholm is P1. And that's all. Joe Stackman, JP, what's going on, my man? Dix, Larry Sanier, the good doctor in the house. And, so anyway, Joe Stack, the Iron Man's here? Wow, that's awesome. And good stuff, man. Thank you, guys. Dave Chisholm in the house. Hey, and that's the other thing I got to say. I got to say a big happy birthday to One Time. Happy birthday, One Time. Hope it's been an awesome day for you, buddy. What are you now? 44, I think? No, 29, I think is what you are. So cool stuff. So anyway, thanks you guys for tuning in. That is pretty awesome. So Colin Baker, hang in there, buddy. We're behind you all the way. And we got coming up here on the grid. You know, this weekend, coming up on the grid, the 29th through the 31st Can-Am Rotax Pro Kart Challenge Series, bringing its traveling show to Medford, home of the Southern Oregon Karters. I don't know how many you've been down there, but it used to be the super speedway go-karts. Still is to some degree, but it's going to be an awesome event. It's going to be showcasing some of the best karters in the nation, competing for the chance to represent the U.S. this year in Portugal, the Rotax Grand Final. So that's going to be cool. I know Stafford Smith and his clan are going down, and they got an LO206 class there too, so I'd imagine there'll be some LO206 guys down there. You know, and I got to say this too. I found out today from Don Humbo, he finds out after he gets back from the weekend that his brother passed away, had a massive stroke, and he's passed away. I mean, how's that for news to come home to? I talked to him this morning a little bit. So, Don Humbo, man, what do you say to that? Other than I'm just sincerely sorry and wish there was something I could do to help that, but unfortunately there is nothing. But my prayers are with you, and my goodness, wow, that's a tough one to swallow there. But for those of you who want to go, it's the Colin Baker Fund. You can go to GoFundMe.com/Colin Baker, or you can hit any Northwest Community Credit Union or a sharing affiliate. So some of them, you know, even though they're a credit union, they can still share and donate to that account. So, and I'll let you know again at the end of the show where you can donate again too. But so Can-Am going to be in Medford this weekend. The Puget Sound Go-Kart Racing Association is having their open practice on Friday, and then they're having racing on Saturday. It's their first race of the year. Sit-up sprint carts, sit-up 4-strokes, the 125 shifters laydowns. I mean, they got all kinds of cool stuff going to be going on there at the Ridge Motorsports Complex in Shelton, Washington. Yours truly will be there on Friday doing a live broadcast, so be sure to tune in Friday afternoon. I'll post some times up on the Northwest Race Report Facebook page in the next day or so. So check the page and check out the special At the Ridge show on Friday. Albany MX is having their third round of their summer motocross series going on. So there will be some high flyers getting it on there in Albany. June 13th, Pat's Acres Racing Complex, the Oregon State Karting Championship Series, round number 4, will have their first night race of the year. They'll be running the short track. Should be an awesome show. Pat's Acres has been around forever, and it's a historic facility, one of the most unique tracks in the country. If you haven't been there, your karting career is not complete until you have been. So that's what's going on, Pat's Acres night race, and it's cool at night, man. Let me tell you, it's going to be cool. Of course, Race Stream Live will be there bringing you all the action, so tune in. That's Saturday night, June 13th. The 14th, the next day, same place, Pat's Acres are going to have the big pack drift event. They bring the drift cars in on that go-kart track, and it is crazy, wild, cool. And let me tell you, I went for a ride in one, and yeah, it was kind of crazy. June 20th, this is going to be a big one. The North-South Clash, the UAS Unlimited All-Stars, is going to be going on at Jackson Motor Speedway in Byram, Mississippi. It's a smoking fast 5th mile, which is offering $800 to win, no kart minimum, and it pays down to 9th place. So, and that's due to PCE Plumbing and Backflow Services because they're helping make that happen. So that's pretty cool stuff. Dave Chisholm, he's on tonight. He is the Mississippi Unlimited All-Star director. And you can go to www.unlimitedallstars.org for more info. That's going to be cool stuff. June 21st, the Oregon State Karting Championship Series again is going to be in action. Only this time it's going to be at McMinnville Raceway Park. And this will be round 5 of the 10 race series. And it goes quick, let me tell you. Boy, Sean Hill, that's the man. Back-to-backing and sending them packing. Old Sean Hill, he's a good guy. June 26th, the Northwest Gold Cup returns to the Mountain High Raceway in Spanaway, Washington for round 4 of the series. 4 of 5. Man, I can't believe it's almost over. And the Tilt Pro Radish CMC Black Star Motorsports Nitro Radish World Formula Pro Series. Man, I'm going to tell you, it's a great series. It's turning into an awesome series, actually. And Jonathan Brown has been killing it. He's got 4 poles, 3 wins in 6 races. And it's a super exciting and competitive series. Even if you're not a 4-stroke person, it is it's awesome. So cool deal, Ray Smith. You know what, Mr. Baker probably really appreciated that. Ray Smith says, if we were to dine out for pizza and beer, we'd be in it for $100. So we'll put that $100 directly to his fund to support Colin and his family. Ray Smith, stand-up guy, stepping up and putting some money in there. That's pretty cool. That's really cool, actually. So thank you, Ray Smith. I'm sure the Bakers really appreciate that a ton. So time to move on. And we're going to be going on Winner's Circle Wednesday. And here's where I was this weekend. I was at the Northwest Gold Cup in Boise, Idaho, and it was hosted by the Snake River Carters. Been a lot of talk about, what's been going on over there. And it was up to all the hype, let me tell you. It was. Got there, and it was, greeted by a bunch of happy folks with smiles on their faces like they were glad to be there. Pit area was nice and tidy. The racetrack was nice and clean, nice new markings and curbing and been freshly repaved. And what do you say, man? They had the barbecue guy in the house there who was ripping some good food, had some great pulled pork, and then breakfast he had like a smorgasbord of stuff, and on top of it, he was a nice guy. He also hooked up a dinner on Saturday for everybody. And so it was pulled pork and cold beer, and then the club had all the trimmings on the side. So, it was dinner and bench racing for most of the night. That was the call of it. So it was cool. I mean, it was really cool. And the racing was stellar. I'm sure that, the club would have liked to seen more entries, who wouldn't have? But you know what? Really, if we're talking Boise now over the few years, this has to be one of the. This was huge, and it's a great. It just shows you what that club's been doing, and they're getting rewarded for it. So, that's pretty cool. Justin Jones, the 021. Hey, if you haven't seen, you need to go to Justin's Facebook page. He's got one of the best looking cars I think I've ever seen. Justin Jones, he says, I'm out in the shop working on the rocket and listening in. Right on. That's what this is for, Justin. So thanks for tuning in, my man. But, the whole club did an awesome job. Ray Smith, Joe Ransom, of course, Mama Peterson up there in the scoring booth. She was, 118 entries. Hey, how about that one? God, that's great. That's fantastic, actually. So to kind of let you know what went down, Junior 1, Jacob the Shark made it 2 consecutive sweeps. He swept up in Chilliwack, and he swept again down in Boise. So he took the sweep. Parker Robb swept second. Tag Masters, Gary Rail swept both days. Jerry Pitts and Renee Bine were second and third. The Nitro Radish, Brett Lucas swept the weekend. It was really super exciting. Jonathan Brown was the runner-up. LO 206 Junior, Jacob Gulick swept the weekend. Junior won LO 206. This was cool. Becca Clark wins it on Saturday. Sweet young lady, did an awesome job. She actually got the Northwest Race Report's kind of the performance of the weekend. Gave her a nice little trophy, had a piston and a rod on it. Kind of cool. Brian Williamson took LO 206 Senior on Saturday, and Andrew Wilson won it on Sunday. Crazy cool. Drag race to the finish. Williamson was leading it. Sean Scott and was second. They run in there the last corner, coming to the flag. They get together, and Wilson splits them both. Drag races Williamson to the line. He wins it by about 6 inches to take the win. So it was good stuff. The Smack Plastics Rotax Senior, David Shorn won $400 on Saturday. And on Sunday, Miles Peterson picked up the scratch. And I'll tell you, that was the same deal in the Nitro Radish. Lucas, was, what do you make, $800? Jonathan Brown picked up a $50 bill. And then Gutenberger picked up a $50 bill because he came out of nowhere late. Practice was just about over. And, he outqualified, I think it was Lucas and Dylan McKay. Both had a 20.008 time. And coming to the flag to close the qualifying, Gutenberger rips a 19.999, takes the pole, and $50. So it was that was super exciting. That class is awesome. Like I said, Senior 4 went to Tim Doyen. Tim's a good guy. First time meeting him finally. And he swept the weekend. Roger Cathy was second on Saturday. Alan Cathy, Roger's son, was the runner-up on Sunday. Nicky Johnston, great kid, much improved. He swept the weekend in Rotax Junior. Tanner McGuire and Riley Robert were second and third. Riley Robert, this was his first race ever, and you could just see him getting better and better and better each and every time he hit the racetrack. So great job, Riley Robert. Junior 2 went to Trey Manker, and Tiffany Sauver was the runner-up. Shifter was awesome. I mean, they had a great turnout of shifters. Miles Peterson took the win on Saturday, and then Wes Pogue was the man on Sunday. And I'm going to tell you, he had some heat, too, because Peterson got tangled up early. He came roaring back through the field and, put the heat on Pogue. But, man, let me tell you, Pogue was rolling, but so was Peterson. And I got to say, I've been there. I watched a lot of guys over the Miles Peterson is probably, if we're talking just overall, he didn't run his own kart all weekend. These were all other people. The shifter kart was somebody else's. I think maybe the Tony kart was his. I don't know for sure, but every time you turn around, he was in a different ride, and he's got to be the most versatile driver in the North. As far as to be able to get in anything and not need a ton of practice. He hadn't driven in 8 months, and he shows up there, and it looks like he'd been racing, all year. So, good stuff to Miles Peterson. It's going to be his final time for a while. He's going back to college. Michael Gutenberger as well. He's going into the armed forces. So, big shout out to Gutenberger. He had a stellar career with the Gold Cup. A classy guy, and you could never count him out. He was just man, it's been an honor to get to know that family and watch Michael come up through everything. So great stuff. Evergreen Speedway, 4 cylinders. The FSCRA. John Grosvenor wins it. Max Schroeder, former quarter midget guy, used to run with him. Ronnie Cox and some of the guys from Royal, remember the Blingmeister, Max Schroeder. He was second. And Kayla Pittman also ran at Roy. She was fourth. That was cool. Legends, Garrett Archer wins it. Robert Gayson was second. Jake Woods, Dwayne Swanson, and Tristan Hayter. And Hayter was he was one of the Roy boys too. So Mr. Smooth himself. Street stocks went to Roger Drake. The late models, Kelly Mann, he won it. Blake Williams was second. Mike Holden third. Grayson Raz, another quarter midget kid that was pretty good. And Luke Selican, fifth. And he starts 26th in this late model show. The Max Galloway 150. And he starts 26th. He finishes fifth. He beats my hero, Garrett Evans, who was sixth. I don't know. I'd hate to not like Luke anymore because he's beating up on my hero, but I'm just kidding. Luke did a good job. Fifth that's a stud. That's a stud drive. Let me tell you. Carter's Brandon Schreiber. He was eighth. Molly Helmuth was 19th. She got into some trouble, and Jessica Dana 28th. Evergreen on Sunday. The Sean Peters Memorial. The Legends was won by Peyton Saxton, Robert Gayton, and Tristan Hyder. That was 1, 2, 3. Superstock Figure 8, Steve Peters and Quentin Borison. The Stingers went to Jessica Gray. My man Cody Hoops, he got it done. Lance O'Grain and another former Roy Washington racer. It was Nick Dunham. Nick Dunham was fifth, so way to go, Nick. He was rolling that. In the Hornets, Cody Hoops and Matt Somerville. So, Cody Hoops has been killing it. And we're moving on to the UAS season opener at ORV. Yeah, here we go. Ronnie Cox, the 9, on his new Exceed, takes the win. Right out of the box, off the trailer, off the scales. And I guess it was blazing quick. So congratulations to the Rocket, Ronnie Cox. He's driving for Uncle Chuck Knudsen. Uncle Chuck's Racing. And Renee Angel was second. And ES7, Eric Stansberry, he was third. Oh, let's see. In the CKA opener, the actual opener on Sunday, they all ran together, but the actual club, the CKA, they had Uncle Chuck Knudsen won stock animal, so that was awesome. Uncle Chuck, he does a lot for a lot of people. I don't know that you know, he's a car owner for about 3 different guys, and he's always helping. You ask him why, and he says, because I can do it, and and I like doing it, and I like giving people stuff they need, so he's a great guy. Dan Watkins won the sportsman class. Kevin White won Yamaha Light. I'm glad to see that. Kevin D. White, man, he's a good guy, and he's kind of put his stuff on the side when his kid was racing, so he could do more of it. And Kevin White's a good guy. I'm glad to see him get the win there. That's pretty cool. The Kart Pro Kart Parts, Burris, Northwest Speedway Karting Summer Shootout Opener. And for those of you that don't know, that is a KT100, F200 combined class. I think the weight is 360. And it's going to be a great class. So if you've got a Yamaha or an F200, you need to dust that thing off and come on out and run. And the win, this is no surprise to me, went to Rusty Rossmeyer, probably one of the best wheels we got here speedway-wise in the Northwest. Wendell Fosdick was second. Third was Tyler Weber. He also got the Hard Charger Award. So way to go, Tyler Weber. You'll be hearing more of that name for sure. He runs for One Time Motorsports up at Strebbe Speedway from time to time, too. So fourth went to One Time, Shane Smith, and fifth went to Sean Carr. So nice. So looks like it was a pretty decent, I'm sure we could have used some more entries in there, but it'll grow. Hager, where you at? You need to show up. Rich Spear, come on now. All right, Trickle, where are you guys at? Jeremy Brown, all you guys, come on now. Let's see. Big 5 late models ran at Meridian Speedway. I didn't get a chance to go. I was going to go, but it was on Sunday night, and I was trying to get out of there. But Chris Fenton won the late model division, and Stafford Smith was 7th. So good stuff for Stafford. That's great. He'll be down at the Can-Am this weekend down in Medford. Hannah Newhouse was 15th, and then the wing sprints went to Brian Wharf. The Pro 4s went to Kenny Chandler, former go-karter from way back in my day, Tom Pinkowski. He was 18th. And then the tuners, they had a tuners class. I still don't know what that is. I don't. But Kendra Ochapenti was your winner. And then the Hornets went to Antonio Reiska. So that's pretty sweet, huh? What do you think? Yeah, I'm thinking so. Yes, indeed. So a lot of good stuff coming up or came up over the weekend. And once again, I want to thank all the great folks at the Snake River Carters for believing enough in me to hire my services. It was a good time, and we did some stuff live on the air for them both days, and so it was a good time. It was a darn good time. So yeah, that wraps up our in the seat guest. I'm gonna kind of say, he's my cousin. He's been doing some cool stuff. He was a many-time qualifier, Loretta Lynn. Yeah, Cody, I bet I did miss out. But and so he's kind of an independent. He's getting it done, but he's doing it the hard way. And thanks, Ray. I appreciate it. I definitely enjoyed doing it. The weather was great. We had one thread of rain, but it was okay. So, yeah, it's coming up 8 o'clock. It's a little after 8, so he should be coming shortly. He's probably a busy guy. But, and that brings us up to our bench racing segment. And this was kind of what, it kind of has to do with going over there with the Gold Cup. It kind of has to do a little bit about, the gang over there at Snake River Carters, and what they've been doing. And, I was just on the way home and I was thinking, how important is it, do we think, to have a quality, club organization that is doing things, for the event. I mean, it's just, it affects all of our racing. I don't think, whether we know it or not. But I mean, so on the chat line here, hit me up, let me know. I mean, what do you how important do you think it is, to have a club? And I mean, what's the criterion there? I mean, obviously you've got to get people in there that are, passionate. They got to be dedicated. I mean, because a lot of times there isn't a ton of money. Dave Chisholm, you better be chiming in on this one, because I mean, you of all guys know about this, and so a lot of times it was you got to have that. I mean, if it's poorly run and unorganized, I mean, what have you got? Typically, you've got a mess, right? The right hand don't know what the left one's doing. You're going, oh my goodness. I mean, we're waiting around. So I mean, so really the duties of a quality, organization or club. I mean, number one, you've got to enforce. I believe you have to enforce the rules, and I think that's something that is it's tried to be done, but it's a tough thing to do, because in a lot of cases, the racers very well. They may be even friends, but you know what? I mean, I think the bottom line is that if you're a club organization, if there's a rule book there, if there's a rule book in place, say, for example, IKF rule book or whatever, man, to me, that's your friend. That helps you. It eliminates you having to police anything. I mean, how many times have we seen? Okay, so what is it? What happened? Well, and so we want to look at it like it's a individual. So what does the rule book say? I mean, I think that should be the first thing that the organization does. The first thing is they pull out the rule. Okay, what's the rule book say? What's the rule say pertaining to this? And what is the penalty if the rule is there, if it's an infraction? I mean, like it or not, what does the rule book say? Well, the rule book says if he does this, then this is going to happen. All right. Did he do that? Yes, he did. Then this is what he gets. I mean, to me, it just polices itself. I mean, that's the first thing that I think that's the organization's duty to do that. And that is going to keep the show. Yeah, you're probably going to get some people that aren't happy with it, but if it's consistent and that's the way you always do it, that's the biggest thing. I think it's a given that racers probably aren't going to like a penalty or a punishment, but if it's consistent and it's within whatever the rule book says, I mean, there's situations in everything, but you're gonna come out ahead in the long run. I mean, I personally think. I mean, I think that's a big part of what it is. Ray Smith says it begins with a solid foundation. The club and leadership must sit down and define a mission statement. I agree with that. Where are we going with this? What do we want? What do we want it to be? Yeah, and I think along with that, I believe that it needs to go. You need to sit down constantly, like they have. Obviously they have club meetings. I read, and I wasn't there, so I don't know. What happened, but in the UAS deal there was some stuff that went down, and I mean, number one, you hate to see that. I mean, that's definitely not what we need as a series here now. But it did. But so I don't know. I mean, I hear there's some hollering and shouting and people on the racetrack. I mean, all that stuff. Well, if that's the case, then you need to nip that. You can't punish one for one thing and not punish for another, or vice versa. I mean, there again, that's where the rules come into play, and it's up to the organization to make sure it does that. Yeah, I don't know. It did sound like it, but then one time you get on and you see Lippy, Glenn Tower, who's the president of CKA, and he's saying, I mean, there's going to be, UAS they're suspended from the schedule for a bit, and he's got scoring people that no longer want to score anymore. I mean, it's that's tough. I mean, and I think we got to remember too, most of the people. Okay, Stackman. See, that's what I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't there, so I don't know. What happened. All I know is you just hate to see that go down anyway. So, but in any case, good hard racing. And you know what? So many times I think that's the other thing when we're talking to rules. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think to some degree we've made our own bed there. And I was looking this up, but and you'll get my point here in a minute. But refereeing basketball, it says in there, and this it's kind of the same thing. It says when you have 10 bodies on the floor moving in an enclosed area at a high rate of speed, there is going to be contact, and some of it is going to be severe, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a violation, if that makes any sense. Same thing here. You've got 15 to 20 high horsepower, very fast machines going at a high rate of speed on an enclosed course with limited real estate. There is going to be some contact, right? So learn to deal with that. But that doesn't mean every bit of contact is a violation. And I think we all know blatantly, what is and what isn't. But if every time there's contact, if you want a call, then, and it happens, now you've created a mess. If you don't know for sure, my thinking is you don't call anything because you're guessing. That's just me. I don't know. But there again, and you know what, you guys, and it's going to sound like I'm picking on CKA, and I'm not. I mean, I'm just saying this is in general. I mean, there's clubs everywhere that this goes on. And I'm talking about a lot of this came up because you watch the Snake River Carters. They've revamped that whole club. And, it's like I said at the trophy meeting, it's like this is what it shows. You have happy people at the end, even though there were maybe some things that came up, but still people were happy because it was consistent and it was, it was good, and everybody for the most part was happy. And that's just it. There's a lot of volunteers there. So, that's, you got to remember that as well. And it's a done deal. And I'm just saying, I'm not, this had nothing to do with CKA. I'm just saying, things happen. I mean, I think as racers too, we have to remember, it's like you say, think before you speak. You're in you got a hot head, and so hey, it's that's a tough deal. I mean, it truly is. I mean, so let's see. One time says they showed a black flag and put someone to the back. That usually never happens. I was happy to see it. We don't get that all the time. Right on. What does Dave say? A mission statement: enforce the rules fairly for all. Integrity and consistency is everything. Racers must be in unity to build a good foundation upon it. And that is a fact. Dave, I saw your post today, about somebody was saying, maybe something went down, and they said, somebody's going to win a chassis from your thing, and you posted on there. Nobody said anything about, somebody from, our club or our deal is going to win this thing. It's so that's the main thing. It's like telephone, right? You get you get going, and pretty soon, you meant to say this, and it ends up, being that, at the end of the deal. So, help me out here. So we've talked about enforcing the rules, consistency, and everything. I mean, what is it? I missed one. Big Sky Cartway. June 5th and 6th, the UAS and the Sportsmen are going to be there. That's in Montana. That's going to be a haul. But yeah, that should be good stuff. I hear some good things about that over there. So yeah, but I mean, so we've got the rules. We've got the, Ray Smith, if anybody should know this. Same, so should Dave Chisholm, because these guys are, they're the kind of the top. Okay, so Ray Smith says, our vision statement: a quality, thriving, member-driven karting club, having fun and producing champions of all skill levels. I'd say that's pretty good. Everywhere you go, to every racetrack, where the rules are so relaxed on lead weight. They're supposed to be painted white with the kart number on it, but most karters don't do it. There again, I mean, but here's the deal, Scott Warning. Is there anywhere in the rules that it says what happens if you don't have that on there? I mean, yeah, Sunir, and you're the guy right there, okay? You're the guy right there, the good doctor. And I'm going to say, and I say this all the time, but he's one of the best flaggers we've got here in the Northwest. Not only does he have style, but he understands the sport super, super well. So let me ask you, you see a bump, you see a nudge, but from your angle, you can't tell where it is, right? So what do you call? Do you feel like you have to call something, or do you pass and not open that can of worms? I mean, that's what I'm saying. A lot of times, you've got race directors at ground level. You can't see what you need to see at ground level. I'm a believer in that. I mean, I'm not picking on anybody, but you at ground level, you just can't see what you need to see. You've got to be up. It's a game of angles. So, what looks like what it is, a lot of times it isn't. So, hey, one time, so in the Ohio Valley, it says if you lose a weight, you are disqualified. Is that how it is here? I don't know. I don't even know. Well, I mean, the limit also, I guess it's if it's that way in Ohio, I'm sure it is here too, But, The Gibber says, running a protective line to keep the faster guy behind you is the issue. Just my opinion. Worry about what's going on in front of you and not what's going on behind you. Yeah, it's really hard to see a bump from my point of view. So sometimes I have to rely on my other people on the track, and there again, that is true. But that's a tough one there. I mean, I just know that's a not sure. Never need to worry about lead weight. Hey, warning: how much weight are you having to put on? Are you having to add any weight? I mean, I don't know. I mean, at 400 and some odd pounds, I mean, I would guess that there's going to be some lead on there. But are you kidding me? One time, so that thing's got to weigh 430, and you don't have to add any lead. No lead for the 44. Wow. The track view is also different from the inside of the track. Can't see what the cart does on the outside. Very true, Lonnie Teacott. That's what I mean. It's a game of angle, 30 pounds. So you roll across the scales with no lead at 400. That's pretty, I don't know. I guess go-karts are getting heavier. I mean, it's just hard to imagine that, Superstock Light or whatever, was 475 with no lead. Wow, 70. Now that makes more sense to me right there. Yeah, but Sean Hill, what are you, like a $125 or something? $150, $175? I mean, 70 pounds, that's a lot of lead. I mean, that'd be the first 10 is easy. Okay, yeah, I'm going to put it here and shoot. The last 60, you're just shoving it wherever it'll fit. But wow, that's crazy. People need to remember that UAS people versus what did that say? I must have missed that one. I'm going to go up here and see what it said. 390. So the Ironman weighs 390 with his 143 reader. But that's right, Ronnie. I agree totally with that. And again, this has nothing to do with CKA at all. This, it's just a matter of, you see stuff go on, and, Glenn Tower has done a marvelous job there. I mean, it's a tough deal when you're putting in new scoring and you're trying to work all that stuff out. And so, no, not picking on them at all. 450s and bigger motors have to weigh 430. That's correct. I thought it was, what is it, a pound per cc? I mean, if that was the case, Shane, what, don't you have to weigh 500 then? I mean, if is that how it goes? I think. Of course, I don't know if it starts out at a 430 and then you stroke it and do all that stuff and it's like a 488. I don't think you have to. You don't have to weigh 488, but I don't know that anybody would even say anything anyway. But it is a communication deal, and I think that's I think that's important too. And there again, that brings up the other point is, I believe the club is there. And, there's got to be a vision and all that stuff, but they're there to represent the body of the association or the club, right? So, it's really not about being on the board and getting what if you're on that club is supposed to be representing the racers, the majority of the member of the body. It's not a place where you go and get your, your personal, whatever it is. You're supposed to be representing what the racers want and speaking on their behalf. So, send that to me again, Ray. I can't back up on this thing. It fights me. So, that's the other thing. that I think a good organization is their their member bodies are the ones they're covering what the racers want, and I think that's important. I've said a lot that a lot of times the racers don't get listened to like they should. They don't want a tire. Why would you force them to run it? I mean, I don't get that. We don't want this tire. We want to run this tire. Is everybody here in agreement? Yeah, we all want that. Okay. Well, guess what? That's the tire we're running. I would think that's the way to do it, but there's just a ton of little stuff. But but it does show up in what we see at the track. I mean, like I said, I have never been to a CKA event where it wasn't happy, smiley people there. Now, by the end of the day, it might be a different story, but I mean, for the most part, I got to say, CKA is the ones that gave me my start. I mean, I probably, I don't know that I'd be doing this if it wasn't for the Cascade Karting Association. I mean, it was the first Buddha, and that's how I got the deal, and it just worked into that. But I mean, CKA has, I owe them a lot. They were the ones that got me started, gave me the start, and believed enough in me to give me the summer show too. And I mean, this went on for 3 years, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't know that I'd be doing it without CKA. I mean, they've been super cool, and that's a cool thing. I'll be doing their club events. I know now that I've been hired to do the club race, so I'll be there. I can't wait to do the rest of the year. It's going to be awesome being there. So look forward to. And some of you guys that haven't run the dirt, you need to come and try it. It's really awesome. But the officials have friends out on the track. I've always told. Yeah, well, yeah, but good doctor, I know that. But still, that's one. Friends are, yeah, we're buddies, but I got a job to do. You got a job to do. I mean, we got to both respect that. Says the club leadership needs to listen to the members, make decisions based on the members for the majority, not the minority. That's a great point as well. As long as I'm in the flag sign, I will make the right calls, even if it's against them, and that's the way it should be. If you're not doing that, then you should probably step down. Hey, Larry Senior, you should probably get a hold of Glenn Tower. I think he's looking for a flagger. So you might want to get on cascadekarting.org and give them your name. If they need a reference, just have them get a hold of me. I'll tell you what. But, yeah. Hey, by the way, Kevin Bridges, I wanted to say, give you a shout-out, man. It was, number one, it was awesome to see you out there. And number two, it was awesome to hear that you, it sounds like your piece ran really good. So that's super exciting to hear, for sure. I'm glad you got it out finally. I guess it's a gorgeous piece. I'm looking forward. I'm anxious to seeing it, but well, we'll see. I don't know. Well, come on, you guys. I mean, the Betty Boop, you guys will be there. I mean, I can't imagine. I can't imagine that without you guys there. I mean, I'm sure it would go on, but I mean, heck, I don't know. I hope that isn't the case. But nobody wants to join. Yeah, that's the other thing too. I mean, that's just it. Kevin Bridges says nobody likes to join. Everyone likes to complain, though. Yeah, and I mean, but yeah, I guess that is true because you want to join and oh boy, here we go. Ronnie Cox stirring the pot. Hey, 50, tell us how you smoked one time in that heat race. Well, but that's okay, Kevin. Everybody's got work to do. It's just good to see you out there. Oh, Gibber, are you coming up to the Boop? That would be sweet. Yeah, good deal. That would be super cool. And by the way, the Joe Gibb is running the Lucas Oil, the the Pro Truck series, and I guess he's doing very, very well. So be sure you guys keep your eye on the Jammer Airlines, Joe Gibb. He's Pro Truck Light. That's what it is. So Absolutely, Dan Watkins, for sure. Shane Smith, I tried to take 50 on the outside, just like Terry says. Oh, wow. Well, that's cool that you did that. Yeah. Well, good, Chris Gibb. I'm anxious to see you up here. That means you'll probably have to come up once before, too, just to get some track time, right? I'm guessing. I'm hoping, anyway. But there it is. All right. So here, those of you on there, you guys can probably see it on there, but it says a quality, thriving, member-driven car club, having fun and producing champions at all skill levels. Mission, conduct fun, competitive events in a safe, helpful, friendly, family atmosphere while developing our membership and managing the club's financial and legal affairs in a prudent, open fashion. Member-driven, for the members, by the members, fair, driving for tomorrow, trying to new approaches, environmental, respecting Mother Nature, strategic imperatives, implement strategic planning, professional track, and report not just our financials, but all metrics relating to the attainment of our imperatives, mission, and vision, improve our facility to the regional quality, determine our objectives, gaps, estimate costs, build a time-phased capital plan, and action plan to deliver upon these. Drive revenues, set and deliver upon tactics to increase membership and fundraising while ensuring our fees are competitive, reflection of the SRK experience. Rationalize cost, identify cost drivers, and rationalize our expenditures in relation to value. Wow. I don't know if anybody else has got one that detailed, but that's pretty good. Here's how I want my driver to run my car. Do your best and try to win. In doing so, doing everything you can to pass clean. If you're off pace and losing ground to the cart in front of you, don't fight the guy behind you. Let him have his spot. It's supposed to be about camaraderie and sportsmanship. Seems like get lost sometimes when the helmets get cinched tight. Yep, it does. And again, we're talking about the organization as a whole, but Tim, you're right. I mean, I guess that all falls in. I just want to say, that it's nothing goes on without the clubs, it doesn't seem like, right? I mean, it's you got to have somebody there. Those guys are out there working, cutting the grass, prepping the track, putting water on it. They're getting the things hung up. And so, and I don't think, I don't think anybody's getting paid for that, So here's my question, and now that all this stuff's going on, is the Ironman, is he going to be running this year? I mean, is he going to be out? I hear rumors he's got a GTO or a GS or something that he's working on. But are you going to be racing at all, Ironman? Dave Chisholm. Chizzy, you should talk to Ray Smith sometime. I mean, I'm telling you, the good stuff going on. And Ray, you'd like Dave Chisholm. He hustles. He's been getting some money to y'all be at the Betty. But is that it? Is that the only stuff you're running? Yeah. Oh, Ronnie Cox said he's lost his crew chief. I wonder if he has. No way. The Iron Man and Art Pipkin have been together too long, I don't think. But hey guys, we were gonna go 90, but with one time not being able to make it, I was, because we had his segment and with some other things, but so I kept you probably long enough. We kind of got the things going on. Thanks for chiming in on that stuff. But again, before I close, Colin Baker, he's doing well. He's at home. He's stable. He's got Wilson's disease, and he's going to have some huge medical costs. You can go to GoFundMe.com/Colin Baker. And you can also donate at any Northwest Community Credit Union or sharing affiliate. So there's a Colin Baker Medical Fund that direct deposits will be accepted. And And then, like I said, there's a lot of credit unions that are shared branches. So just know that any amount helps, I'm sure, for them. Mr. Baker, if you're tuned in, I just appreciate talking to you today, sir. And Colin, if you happen to be listening in, man, we're all praying for you, hoping things get better and soon. And wow, it is. I'm sorry to keep you there, Scott Warning, but Vicki Daniels, are you kidding me? Wow, cool deal. Vicki Daniels listening in. That's awesome. So one time, are you going to be back here then on the 17th, or are you going to be gone then? I don't know what your race schedule's like, but I think I've got you down next for the 17th. You might want to be here for that because the 17th I'm working on having Harlan Wiggins here talk on the show. So that's going to be pretty cool. Next week we're going to have, and I don't know what happened to my boy Ryan Brees, but hey, he didn't make it. But next week we got Michael Valiente on the show. And he should be an interesting guest to talk to. Michael's he's also running the big car stuff. He'll be here on the 3rd. And then on the 10th, we've got Joey Nelson, who is the new promoter and GM at Spokane Raceway Park. So we're going to hear what's going on. We're going to hear what's going on with Spokane. And so one time we'll be back on the 17th. And hopefully I'm going to have Wes Snow be helping me out, but I'm going to try to have Harlan Wiggins here. So have your chassis questions ready. And Scott Warning, it's all right, man. I totally understand. I know it's late for you guys back there, but yeah. So Vicki Daniels, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate that, lady, a lot. Art should be listening in every week. Yeah, Stackman, you're the guy, the Iron Man, Joe Stackman. Can't wait to get back, watch him roll, and see the Rockets' new exceed. Congratulations to all those guys. Congratulations to everybody this weekend who won. Actually, you didn't even have to win. Congratulations just on being there. It was a big deal, and all the great folks, Jennifer Smark and Mark Reese and, Michael Lundeen and all the folks that made the trip up to Boise to make that Gold Cup a success. Jonathan Brown, Garth Mulkey, Tilth Pro Farms, Don Humble. My prayers are with you, buddy. Don Humble lost his brother. Found out about it when he got home. Massive stroke. So Don's hurting a little bit for sure. So if you see him, give him a little love. Tell him you're thinking about him. His brother was big into go-karts and stuff. So, JP, one question before I go. What are you guys doing? I haven't heard anything. What about what's going on with Brad Berg and Michael Lawton? Sorry, Lawton. Oh, God, he's going to kill me. Yeah. So I'd like to know what's going on with JP, but let me know. Hey, and lastly, Dixon Speedway, if you're listening in there, TCOT, you guys, if you have an event there, man, please message me or whatever the results. I mean, it would help me immensely. Dave Chisholm, you as well. Anything UAS back there so I can get it. Sometimes I go looking and I can't necessarily find it. And Dixon in 2 weeks. Hopefully, Chase, are you going to be there? Yeah. They're all busy. Oh, so that means you're looking for 2 drivers, right? Then, I guess. Is that the deal? Yeah. JP Carterman. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, you do need a driver. Hey, there you go. Have your resume out. Boy, maybe we need to bring Wes Snow out here or Dave Chisholm or Cody Chisholm, one of those guys, and put him in it. 1, okay? So there it is. JP Karting needing 1 driver. And let me tell you, top flight equipment, you won't find anything better. I'm telling you that right now. So, man, would that be cool? That would be awesome, Lonnie, because I want to get you guys in there. I don't know where Ford Cook's been. He must be working, but okay, go ahead. You have a question? Okay. I see it. Your hand's raised high. Go ahead, Lonnie. It's all you. Oh, that's for JP. Yeah, there you go. But yes, indeed. No, you're not. But you do make for a dang good show. Too fat. But anyway, hope. I think at the Ridge, those of you that aren't going, listen in on the show tomorrow. I'll let you know. I'll get my time up there and let you know when it's going to be. We're going to have a live show right from the Ridge. So you guys are awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know, like I said, if there's somebody you think needs to be on the show, somebody special that, let me know. But, oh, hey, you're welcome, Ray. Thanks for everything over there. Joe Stackman. There's an offer right there. JP Karting. Good night, Irene. Yeah, he says absolutely yes. No doubt about that. Who knows? Could we see JP Karting and the Ironman Joe Stackman joining forces for the Betty Boop? Ooh, could be interesting. Scott Warning, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be focusing now a little bit more on getting some good bench racing topics. Like I said, we got Michael Valiente coming up here next week, Joey Nelson from Spokane the week following, and hopefully I'm going to have Harlan Wiggins on for the 17th. So be sure you get me, be sure you tune me in there because that's going to be good stuff. Brandon Hill, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that a lot, and appreciate all your support. I need it, you know what I mean? And if you got any shops back there that want to do some advertising, let me know. It's be pretty cheap. I've also got my website. I've got a couple 125 by 125 ads there. So if you know a shop that wants to get some cheap advertising, hit me up. I'd love to have it for the show. It helps me out, helps pay the monthly show bill and whatnot. So that would be super cool. And you guys, I appreciate it so much. And we'll see you next week. 7:30. Don't forget, Michael Valiente going to be our guest. It's going to be a good show. And you guys, like I said, if somebody's on the bottom, Brandon Hill, what do you got to do? I'm going to let you close it. What do you got to do if somebody's on the bottom? I'm going to wait for you, Brandon Hill. What do you do? Does anybody know? If somebody's on the bottom, where do you have to go? One time? Close it out, baby. Well, yeah, till the rubber side down, but one time knows the deal. That's right. Somebody's on the bottom, put them in the fence.